Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers, welcome. So today's Feminine School video is all about the very touchy and very spirit of confusion topic of having it all. And I wanted to share some insight about this very nuanced and very much shades of gray dynamic that seems to carry with it a lot of delusion and a lot of tension, and it also seems to push and pull women in many directions. But the topic of having it all can also be very frustrating to women, particularly Black women, whom historically have not been able to wholesale financially depend upon their men for a variety of cultural, financial, and historical reasons. So while the concept of having it all and having hypergamy can be very exciting, it can also be a very frustrating dilemma for many Black women to unpack and trust and pursue because historically Black women have had to financially rely upon themselves to survive. So while the concept of having it all and having hypergamy can be very exciting, it can also be a very frustrating dilemma for many Black women to unpack and trust and pursue because historically Black women have had to financially rely upon themselves to survive. So I completely understand the wholesale fear in embracing femininity and hypergamy and vulnerability and the surrendering of trust to a provider man. So, ladies, I do not want you to think that I am not aware of the specific nuances that affect Black women as a whole. That would make me very insensitive and highly arrogant. But with that being said, I personally feel most comfortable with approaching the question of air quotes, having it all through the energy lens of the masculine and the feminine principle, and also through the lens of the 15-year window, as women have a window for optimal fertility. Now, for clarity purposes, relationships will always depend upon the equity of the feminine and the masculine principle to flourish and thrive. And let me know if you would like a video on understanding the key differences between equity and equality, because a lot of people confuse and conflate men and women being equal at work with being equal in romantic relationships. And some of you may be triggered to hear this, but there is no such thing as equality in romance, only equity. And that is why so many relationships are a disaster in the making, because they do not respect the masculine or the feminine principle. Successful relationships, ladies and lurkers, and I want you to listen carefully, are about the equity of the masculine and the feminine principle, because the masculine and the feminine is what creates harmony and longevity in relationship success, even more so than money or power. But in today's modern relationships, both are flagrantly lacking in masculinity and femininity. And for the most part, femininity, hypergamy, and the feminine and the masculine principle is what my channel is all about. So for the record, I am not against career women or ambitious women or college educated women. I am college educated myself, or boss women, or by alpha women who are invigorated by money and power and prestige and accomplishment. But again, the focus of this channel is for women who seek mentoring and community and the lost art of femininity. And this channel is about exposing and highlighting the consequences, the unwanted consequences that come when women and men are ignorant about the masculine and the feminine divine. And this channel is for women who seek to live the hypergamous life, no matter the shade of man. And this channel is for women who want to rest comfortably and consistently, which is the key word here, consistently as much as possible in their feminine. Because at some point in the having it all game, most women will want out of the rat race due to exhaustion and having to do it all, and having a stronger desire for fulfillment. And that is where the power of hypergamy will often step in. Now, to answer the question, can a woman have it all? The answer is an obvious yes. But a better question to ask is, what does having it all look like to you? Because having it all will vary from woman to woman, and it will depend upon a variety of X factors. That is why this topic and this discussion is not cookie cutter or one size fits all. There are a variety of X factors, such as your drive and your ambition and your age and your energy levels. And the X factor of having it all will also depend on a woman's desire for motherhood, and having it all will also depend upon a woman's larger than life dreams. Those are the X factors that make the question of having it all very complicated, and very nuanced. So, like I mentioned in all of my videos, as a woman, you have to look into the mirror and you have to know who you are, and you have to be honest about the stage of life that you are currently in. And you have to be aware of the 15-year window if you desire children. And you have to know what you want. And I find that the majority of women who subscribe to this channel would much rather prefer to sit in their softness and their feminine and to be provided for by a high value man. And I find that most women are not interested in the pursuit of the burnout that comes with the juggling of having to do it all. And in most hypergamous relationships, women typically do not work a traditional 9 to 5, particularly when it comes to having a family. Because in most hypergamous relationships, women are afforded the luxury of having personal time and availability. And I also think that it is very important for women to understand that being a boss and running a business is not a casual or a passive thing, because being a boss requires dedication and the pursuit of profitability, which will often mean dwelling very strongly in the masculine realm and working long and arduous hours. And being a boss will greatly differ from having a hobby or having a side hustle as a wife, or doing something that you love while being provided for, like philanthropy or volunteering. But entrepreneurship and management leadership and running a corporation with employees comes with heavy amounts of masculine obligation and masculine responsibility. And that is often where the drain of your feminine divine will come to collect. As busy women and boss women are usually the women who do not have the time to date or to nourish and restore their feminine divine. And typically, the less demanding the job and the less a woman will need her work to pay her bills, the more a woman can dwell in her feminine. And the more demanding the job, the more a woman will be in her masculine. And for those of you who are lurking and ear hustling, when a woman is a hustling entrepreneur, her masculinity cannot be turned on and off like a faucet. That is a very false narrative that a lot of masculinas love to spread. But in reality, working an outside 9 to 5 means the drain of commuting. Or being a self employed woman means very long hours of work, because the nature of work means work, and it means getting things done to create financial success. And contrary to popular belief, motherhood is labor, because motherhood is work. And motherhood is a very, very important job. And being a stay at home wife is a job. But I need to say this because in the Black community, stay at home wives and mothers are often dissed and dismissed and devalued for being lazy and unhelpful, usually by low value men and hateful mother in laws and jealous Judies and pick me women and dust bunnies who are envious. But being a wife is most definitely work and a full-time job. And while most provided for wives will take a long break from their careers or will never return to their careers, or they will have a hobby or a non-threatening side hustle that she can walk away from, most hypergamous women are not interested in being co-leaders in their marriages. And with this mindset, there are less competitive energies in the marriage, and the energy roles of the masculine and the feminine are typically more clearly defined and respected when the husband is the provider, which means the spirit of confusion that will usually damage and destroy a relationship will be essentially non-existent. And the facts are that there are less power struggles when roles are clearly defined. Now, of course, if you do not desire to be a mother, things are way less complicated when the desire to have children are off of the table, because that is when a woman can completely flourish in her drive to succeed, in her alphaness and her bossiness, without guilt or without being assaulted with the internal tug of war that comes with wearing both the masculine and the feminine hat. Now, for those of you who are listening who want to be married, I highly, highly suggest that you read the book Getting to I Do, so that you can have a deeper understanding of how the masculine principle and the feminine principle are the successful building blocks of relationships and romance. Because in serious relationships, there will always be these tough questions to confront. Who will do the housework? Who will prepare the meals? Who will watch the kids? Who will make the doctor's appointments? Who will make healthy meals? Who will plan the vacations? When will the wife have the time for feminine self-care and pampering if she is working 12 to 15-hour work days? Can a career woman nurture a child or her children with her full undivided attention? Can a career woman be available for her family? because boss women are usually very limited on the precious commodity of time and being available. And will you be emotionally available to nurture and support your husband if you are a full-time career woman who is commuting and or running a boss business? Do you trust your children with extended family members? How long will your work commute be? And then there is the question of attracting that diamond in the rough of a masculine provider who doesn't mind the competitive energies or the power struggles that often come with being married to an alpha woman or an alpha boss, because there will always be the needle in the haystack and there will always be exceptions to the rule, but exceptions are never the rule. Now, in closing, yes, any woman can do it all, and there is no formula or one trick pony for having it all. But for clarity purposes, how long is the better question? How long can a woman wear both the masculine and the feminine hat before she is burnt at both ends of the candlestick? When a woman has her youth, her drive for material success will be much stronger. And when a woman is younger, she will often feel invincible. And that is what I am noticing is the difference maker in terms of the mindset and the attitude towards this very triggering topic, which is why I did a video about 35 being a game changer for women, because time changes all women who believe that they can be superwoman forever. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Can a woman have it all? And the answer to that question would be it will always depend upon what a woman considers to be having it all. So, as always, I look forward to your comments about women having it all below. And stay tuned for more feminine school videos to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers in the next one.